Trying to fix something up here just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Want to make everything is up and running. See if everybody's on here. We're now live. We'll say hi to everybody. So, hey, Eric, hey, Lawrence. And Keith. And oh, everybody's in here. Good. Oh, glad to see you all watching early today. Thank you. I appreciate that. This reminds me of that MASH episode where one guy says, major, back and forth. Everybody gets their greetings out of the way. Okay, so got a bunch of things to turn today. So I'm going to get started on it pretty quickly here. As I said, we're not going to be worrying about shine, although I do have some shine stuff to worry about later too. But for now, we're going to just worry about turning. And I got some nice walnut, and I want to do some walnut different ways and look at the different types of walnut there is. So we're going to do a little bit of that today. I know Mike at the Whacking Shack is busy. He got some flaming elder. He was sending me some pictures of that. Our flaming box elder, and it's he got big sheets of it. So as the lathe turns, yes. Well, or as the lathe turner's hand gets hit, or something like that. Yeah, you'll see what kind of a hit it is. So I've got this piece here. This is a little bit of an awkward piece. I kind of wanted to start off with it. And it is awkward. It's very thin. Kind of a ledge here, right here, that cuts in. I didn't really want to make a bowl that was this small, so I'm thinking of a way to maybe turn it so that we can make it useful. In my shop, even small pieces of wood have a place. It's just a matter of finding out where that place is, right? Let me get a little closer here now that we got some of that removed. Okay. This missing here, and I'm trying to work around that somehow. I still got some square here too, so this I'm going to have to take a little bit more off. I'm working in at the same time. Okay, there we go. Now I think you got a little bit of an angle to that. Sloping in this way takes away some of this and gives us something to work with. So I'll change my angle here. See if we can do something with that, right? Still got this flat spot. Still got to deal with it. Yes, I'm going to have to go a little bit thin. I didn't really want to go a bit more, but I'm going to have to because it's just not going to look right otherwise. All right. There. I can work with that. That's interesting. Okay. Out over here. See about my size here. I know it's too big right now. I just want to get an eyeball on this. Not a whole lot more. Okay. I do see another issue. Love doing that. See how we're doing now. Problem is it's really thin right here. And that's what I gotta work on. So once I get my sizing, and my sizing's perfect, okay. Now what I have to do is just kind of straighten this out. Okay. Enough that I can actually hold on to. That's good enough I can hold on to. Okay. So let's see if we can. See how that'll work. I don't know. That's a small edge, but I think it'll work. Yeah. So we got all of that all cleaned up. And we get a little sanding on that. Let's see what we got down here. Hey, Mike. Everybody check out Mike this Sunday. I don't know if he's going to do one tomorrow. Are you going to do one tomorrow, Mike? But Sunday, Mike's been working up some blanks already, and I anticipate we're going to see Mike doing some of that flame elder that he was showing me. So I'm not sure. Hi, SR. How you doing? And not, I think you got my message, but hey, Alex made it from Pismo still. I think that you know that I sent off that pen to you. It should be getting there in the next few days. God knows what takes it so long, but it will. Of course, from what I hear from all the flooding that's going on in certain places, you may arrive on a raft. I don't know. Get this kind of cleaned up. This walnut turned really easily, which is nice. It's a nice way to start off the day. Turning really easily. This is not a big turning or anything. It just shows you what you can do with a small piece of wood. You staring at it long enough, eventually you figure out something to do with it. And I like to bring a lot of small things to the shows. I got some shows coming up. I like to bring small things to shows because a lot of times when people are willing to part with $20 or $30 or $50 or something like that, they may be willing to part with $10 just to take something small home with them. So, and you sell enough $10 items and you've paid for your spot in the show. Then you can worry about selling the big items that make the real money. And those are your profits that you get to take home with you. I always worry about getting my money back first when I'm in a show. I say, okay, I want to pay for my space, pay for any incidentals, and then I can just worry about profiting from the weekend, that's not the way everybody looks at it, but for me, that's the bottom line. It's like, okay, I don't want to come out of here not paying the bills. And once you've paid paid off the cost of the site, actually it makes you more comfortable, makes you more relaxed. Yeah, I saw those lobster legs, Mike. I think you guys are going to be in for a treat when you see those blanks that Mike has. I'm trying to take off this little flat spot. I really didn't want to have to take it off with the gouge, but I guess I'm going to have to. Really trying to avoid cutting any further, but I'm going to have to because it just isn't going to sand out any other way. love doing that. It's just reminds me of snowballs. Whoa! Didn't want to do that. Wanted this time to very lightly. There we go. Okay, got that off there. Now I can sand that down. Hey Paul, glad you could join us. We're having kind of weird weather out here in California. It's actually sprinkling. We don't usually get sprinkles in August, but it's sprinkling and it's about 90, I don't know, 95, 96 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So it is hot and muggy in California. I know it's not unusual for some of you, but in this area, that's kind of unusual. Kind of unusual. I'm going to go over this with just a little bit of a few marks on the wood. It almost looks like it has filler in here, even though it was a solid piece of wood. So I don't know where the filler comes in unless it's like trailings from a worm or something like that. Okay, so got that out of the way. We'll do just a little bit of quick finish work on this, and then we'll turn it around. And I want this one to take a long time to do. So you can see it has really nice grain to it. Please hit the like button if you're in here, by the way. That'd be helpful. If you're not a subscriber, of course, we're always looking for more subscribers. Keep growing the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. And you get notifications when we're doing things. And of course, there is a membership if you'd like, but there's no requirement of that. I charge the minimal amount that I can, which is 99 cents. And that also gives you access to some of our other features, like some videos, and also like the recipe for this friction polish, among other things. So that friction polish is really working out well. I've been going back over some of my bowls, and I'll show you in a little bit the ones we did the other day and how the shine is staying on them, which is the test that we were kind of giving them, is will the shine stay? Okay. Ooh, that is looking pretty. That's looking very pretty. Now I'll do a little bit of finish on here also, since I got the back side showing to me right now. This is the, we're just going to do one coat for now. Put it on there. Okay. And then we will go up. And there you go. That quickly. We have a pretty nice finish on that. Pretty warm too. And it is not an oily finish. I mean, I can put that on there and it comes pretty much right off. Hardly any sticking because it is just, it's not oily. So I like that. So what do you think? That's the raw side. That's the finished side. I like this. I really, really like this. I think that looks really cool. So anyway. Yeah. It's walnut. It's a piece of walnut. I believe this is walnut from branch, not from the trunk. I was not the one who cut it down, so I'm not 100% sure on that. I got a slab of this, and I cut a lot of blanks out of different areas of it, and you're going to see a couple of them today. And you'll see it has a variance of color and variety as you go through it, but it is a very pretty piece of wood. I wish I had had a big piece. I think what this was the leftovers after he took a big piece to make like a table or something out of it. And this was part of what was left over because, well, I'll show you. Here's one of the blank pieces that we'll be turning later. Okay, that's another piece of it right there, and it has a little more of a burl quality to it. It's got some swirls in it, so we'll see how that turns. Okay, so got these nice big holes in here. Let's get the truck on here. Okay, and now, this is not a very big tenon. This is about 1/8 of an inch, if that. So we have to be really careful with how it's on there. It looks like it's spinning nice and true. That's good. I'll do one more check with the. You never want to over crank this because you can actually crack or crush the wood fibers, and that's not necessarily going to make it any stronger. Okay, so just make it on so it's tight. Ready? About like so. Let me get my helmet back on, just in case it wants to come flying off and hit something like me. I was talking to a friend of mine today who's turning a big 18-inch burl. He says it's already flown across the room 4 times on him today. And I said, well, would you invite me over? Can I bring my helmet? Because sounds like it's not really a safe environment to visit. He's got a giant Powermatic and he's used to turning really large pieces. this pretty thin. This is very dry wood, by the way. Woo! That's hot friction, I tell you. I think I'll bring you in just a little bit closer on this. So you can see a little bit better. You don't need to see me, you need to see the work. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, now I gotta do a little field testing here and see where we're at. I can go down a little bit further. I want to make sure that I'm getting that inversion in the lid a little bit here, or the top and bottom. You want to do it without bottoming out anywhere, too. That is so hot, it's burning my hand. That's really hot. See if I need to put something here. It says, didn't think you'd ever get a better lathe, but I have Harbor Freight 10 by 18, the green one, and it does what I need to do. In fact, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what? There is nothing wrong with it. And in fact, to be honest with you, Harbor Freight's been pushing their quality up a little bit over the last few years. I wish they would get in business with somebody that makes a real good quality set of tools, because unfortunately the gouges that they sell, they're only high speed and they're kind of crap in the sense. Quite honestly, they're just not really worth sharpening. I mean, they're worth the money because they don't cost very much. But if there's one tool on the lathe that I would say is really important, it's your gouges, and they should be good quality. They really can't be. You can't chintz on the quality of your gouges, because it really does make a difference in your turning. And I think most of the turners in here would agree with me. So yes, you can make some handmade tools that are really great for certain things, but really good gouges, you know, like the ones that Mike is having made under his name now for the Whacking Shack, or you know, some other big ones that you see out there. They use very high quality steel. They're made to very good specifications. They're thick. I mean, the one thing I like about these Benjamin Bests is look at how thick that is. That is a nice thick tool. It's not going to bend or move in any way, shape, or form. Keeps a really sharp edge, and this is going to last me for a lot of years. I've got to take a little bit of that roughness out of there. I think I got a little bit right there. It's really hard when you're trying to, especially when you have wood that has a nice grain to it, it's really hard to see the imperfections when you turn. And of course, some of that you can take out with the sanding, but some of it you need to make sure you get it while you're still using the tool. So there we go. Working on a side table. Well, that's always a nice thing to do. Of course, if you work on a sideboard, that means that you know, maybe there will be some good Christmas goodies on that this year or something, right? So. That's always a worthwhile thing to be doing with your time in the shop. Anytime you build something for the wife, there's usually a payback somewhere along the line, right? Either that or you're paying back for something you did already. I'm not going to use too much of that. I already had it formed pretty good. I don't really need to use a low grit on that except to knock off any little high spots. And I don't want to groove anything up. So, guess I should turn this on. We'll go with one more, and I think that's all we'll need to do. Do this a little bit more. Just kind of polish this out here. Bear with me as I drop my wax under my table here. I have to go fishing for it. Oh, the vagaries of life. That's weird. Ah, there it is. Right underneath my desk. That's okay. Got it. There. We'll just cut that part out of the video, right? So let's put a little of this friction polish on here. On the inside. There. And that just gives it that little extra polish of the smoothing things out. There we go. And then we'll do the finish wax, the finished polish wax on here. And see what this does to it. So let's see how we finish this bowl. What I like about it is I can touch it and feel it and use it almost immediately. I'm going to put some more on the outside of this too, because it needs 2 or 3 coats. It doesn't get just one coat, because you're putting thin layers of shellac and tung oil mixed into this, and that's what's going to make it a lasting finish and also protect the wood as it ages here. So start off at about 800 or so. Just kind of wipe it off a little bit. Make sure it's on everything. And we'll go up on speed. And we want it to really get into the fibers, kind of melt into the wood a little bit. That's kind of the idea here. That's why you use wax as a carrier, because it will help with that. high speed. And that's about a minute. I don't know. I think you really need much more than that. Okay. Let me take the blow off of here for you and show it to you. You can see it here. Not bad for a little piece of just throwaway wood. It was just a leftover piece. I really love this jag in the grain right there. It's got a beautiful finish on it. And they'll probably get another coat or two on the front and back, and you know, after I let it sit for a little while. But I think that's a really nice finish. So, what do you guys think? Later, Tom. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I think this is really nice too. Okay, so we're going to go on to, I want to show you this. This was one we did the other day, and you can see it's still maintained. This was the dull bottom, and here's the shinier sides. It's still maintaining that. It does still need another coat or two, but this is one we were doing the other day, and I really like kind of this design. So I think I'm going to try, if I can, to make a couple other designs out of these other couple pieces of walnut that I have. Somewhat similar to that, but they're a little bit larger, so nothing is ever a duplicate of something you did. It can be similar, but it can't be the same. And the wood will tell you what it wants to do. So once we get into the wood a little bit, we'll see what it wants to be. Okay? That's kind of my philosophy on doing these, is that, you know, you don't force the wood to be something it doesn't want to be. Let it be what it is. Okay? So I'm going to come over here. Looks about right. Okay. We're going to go right into this other one. Oh, I'm sorry, before we do that, I did want to show you, these were some of the ones that we did the other day also, when we refinished them. And as you can see, they've maintained their finish. Even this one where the piece broke off, if you remember. I love the colors in this piece of wood. And I think it's just an interesting piece. This one, which kind of looks like a saggy bag, so to speak, and has the big cracks that went through it. I think those are just kind of interesting, but it's maintaining its shine also. And so are these here. This is so light. These are sequoia pieces, and they're just really, really light. But yeah, so it works on different woods, and that's the other thing I was looking at, was how would it hold up in different woods. So as you can see, it's doing pretty well so far. I would say knock on wood, but that seems rather redundant and a little silly. Hey Jim, how's doing things at Soldier Farms? Hey, please check out the channels of some of these guys here. A lot of these guys have their own channels. Check them out, subscribe to them, you know, say hi. Okay, here we go. Ooh, I don't really want it that high yet. Yeah, we can go about that high. Okay. This is a little out of round. That's the fastest way I know to make something round. That's pretty fast. I think that's a pretty fast way to do it. Okay. Kind of looking at the top here and kind of smoothing that out a little bit so it's a little more even. And there we are. We got some cracks here that are going to be interesting. So I think because of the cracks, we're going to have to kind of mold this up a little bit. So let me get the backside flattened out here. And then we'll go on from there. So. We have a little bit high on the side. Okay. So I will use this. Move this in just a little bit. Higher on the outer edge than we are here. And I'm going to move this up a little. Yep, now I'm going to go down just a little. There we go. Okay, I think we got a pretty flat surface now. Yep, that's pretty flat. Okay, good. So now, flat surface here, cracks here. I think we're going to have to come up. Which means I'm going to have to make a smaller tenon. And I think in this case we're going to have an exterior tenon, not an interior tenon. Just because the wood is not as strong. So I think we're going to do it right about here. And my template first. And I know I'm going to have to go in from there, but I just want to have an eyeball place to start. Yeah, okay. So I can come in about that. Okay. Just to double check myself. Yeah, I'll still leave it kind of out of that. Okay. Didn't want to make it too small. Now, try to make it a little bit thicker, a little bit deeper. Let's see how we did with those cracks. Those cracks are still right there, but they won't have as much of an effect now. And the tenon's just about the right size. I don't think that's going to have an effect. Yeah, 2 Minute Tips is Jeff. Yes, that's me. Yes. I lurk on the internet under other names, but no, this is me. Thank you, Wilson. By the way, hi, Wilson. I didn't say hi earlier. Okay. So we got our design here. And I know this is going to be interesting wood, but I think, for the fun of it, if nothing else, I think I need to put a little imprint on it too. See if I can find it. It must be this one. Ah. Do a little burning on it too. Another opportunity. Again. There we go. Now we can stroke. There we go. Okay. Just to give it a little definition. Just a little something. I might need to go a little bit more, not quite dark in all the places. So let me go back. Okay, that's better. Okay, wasn't quite dark all the way around. So, okay, so we've created a tenon, which I think I can use. Gonna check myself here. Might need to make that a little bit smaller. Yeah, it's still a little bit big for me. Yeah, that's a little big. I think we'll make it a little bit smaller. And we can get on to fixing the stuff ready to go for the inside. Okay. I think that's pretty good. That's going to be pretty good. Yeah, I don't think that's a problem. Okay, so let me sand this up. And we'll What I like is you don't have the normal end grain on here. You kind of do, but you don't have it all over. So just go reverse. Not a lot of tear out end grain on this one, that's just kind of nice. Okay, one more. Okay, let's see what kind of grain we have on here. Put it through its paces here a little bit and see what we got. Get a little this sawdust out of the way too. Phew. I'm getting quite a pile. Sawdust. Okay, dusty. All right, that's part of what the friction polish will help me get rid of too. Just a little bit of that dust. I want to get down into that burn area because I want to seal that a little bit. So those grooves, I want to get some wax down in there. And help preserve that, and seal the wood. Get some wax in there. Kind of rub it in there a little. Okay. I'm going to do just a little bit more on this because I just want to make sure that it's going to do a good job. There we go. There we are. Okay. Get in those grooves. There. Work it back and forth slowly. That should do it for the. There we go. So that's the friction polish, and most of the abrasive is gone once you do that. There may be a little bit left over, but it's very light. Make sure I got all the wax out of that. groove. Okay. You can already start to see it's looking a little nicer. Okay. So we'll put a little finish polish on here. Ooh, got way too much on here, so I'm just going to lay it very lightly. My applicator's kind of soaked with it. So we'll put that on there and the applicator back in. Whew. A little too much. Okay. I'm going to start off around, say 800. Just to kind of wipe it on a little bit. Make sure it's smooth on everything. Okay. Then we'll kick it up. I just got a little wax in the face. It's okay. It'll make my complexion nicer, right? Get down in the groove. Tighten that up. See, that's got some of that black's coming off. You want to be real careful you don't take all that burn off of there when you're putting this wax on. Okay, now let's go up a little faster. Heat and the wax, the oils, all kind of merge together here. There we go. That looks pretty nice. I can live with that, I think. As I said, you can touch it right away. So there's the grain. You can see it looks almost like almost a little bit like walnut, but it's not. I mean, like oak, but it's not oak. As you can tell from the way it was turning. It is a piece off of the same walnut. I'm just not sure. I think it's on a side piece of the walnut. But yeah, okay. That pulls back. Take that off. And we'll turn this around and turn it into a bowl. Hello, everybody that's out there. We got a pretty good crowd today. Please make sure you hit the like button. Or subscribe to the channel. We surpassed the 5,000 mark a couple weeks back, and now we're heading towards 6,000 eventually. And please make sure you check out some of my friends here. Check out the Whacking Shack. Check out Soldier Farms and Michael Wilson. Actually, if you don't mind putting some of those up there, if you have a chance, that would really be helpful. Or if you guys want to put your own up there, that's perfectly fine too. Put your channels up there so others can find them, and maybe we can get you a few subscribers at the same time. We're all one big woodworking community, and we all like to help each other. So we kind of share and share alike, you know. If you'd like to become a member, there are memberships available for 99 cents. That's the cheapest I could make it. You don't have to be a member, but it does give you certain perks, like how to make this shine polish is in there. It's in there only for the members. And there's a few videos we do and so forth. And I've got 400 videos up now on my channel, just so you know. There's 400 videos between the regular videos and shorts and lives and so forth. So feel free to go in there and look around. Now this is a little bit uneven here. Okay. Alright, let me see if I got the little nicks out of there. No, I gotta go, yeah, it's really quick. Okay. We are kind of going into end grain here, so well, we're not kind of getting the pretty curls that you normally get. So I'm coming out kind of torn. That usually shows that you're going into an end grain here. And we are. It's very wavy and teary. So that's what we're going to be kind of dealing with here, because this wood swirls on the outside. It's swirling. Okay. Yeah, if we can get a couple more likes, that'd be great, guys. Appreciate it. Got like 100 people in here or so. I'd really appreciate it if you could double tap the screen. Or if you can't double tap the screen, at least leave a subscribe if you can't. If you can't like me, at least subscribe. That'd be nice too. I think I'm going to start getting a little bit dull on this too. After filling 2 bowls. I think I might need to start it myself. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. I'm going to do it a different way. We'll go to the Carter here. There we go. Now what that is that's a little bit different angle on the tool, and a little bit different angle also allows me to get a little bit of a different cut in, and it's slicing more and tearing less. Also it's sharper, so I mean it's all those things combined. And that's why you saw a little bit different kind of shaving. So if you pay attention to your shavings and the wood you're turning, you will see when you're getting tears instead of cuts. I did do a video, if you go back and look, I did a video nearly a year ago called Reading the Wood, and it does show you how to read what the wood's going to be doing and how you need to address it. So you may want to go back and take a look at that. Alright, that's coming off. After looking at this some more, I'm beginning to think this is more like an oak, not a walnut. It was mislabeled by whoever. I got this from a turner who is no longer alive, and so that could be part of the issue too, you know. He may have mislabeled it. I wasn't going to argue with him. That other piece definitely was walnut. This piece I think is oak. Just in the everything is showing. And it's a tough piece of oak, but it turns like oak. The shavings look like oak. The end grain looks like oak. I'm thinking it's oak. What do you guys think? I think it's oak. Anyway, okay, we are right about here. I got that much to go. All right, and Just start cleaning up the edges here. You know, let's go down. Okay, that's getting pretty good. That's getting pretty good. I think I can start cleaning it out with the scraper here. Use a big scraper. Get this thing out. See, get the light in there a little bit better for you. Go a smaller one. Get a better arc on that curve. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're done, nice and clean down here. Good depth. Okay, we got a bowl out of this. But I am pretty much thinking that is oak, not walnut. Okay. I'm going on record. Now, let me see here. I think I need to fix that a little bit. Okay. This. Sorry for that high-pitched squeal a little bit, but I had to take that curve, that little line out of there. Okay. And I think I can okay. I think that'll do it, and we'll get the rest with the sandpaper. Okay. Good. Glad I wear this cover over me, because I really gets pretty dusty, and I don't want to take any of this into the house later. My wife would shoot me, even if I did have a nice bowl on my hands. I always forget to turn this on. You guys have to remind me. Turn on the fan. There we go. good. Okay, we'll clean this up and have another finished bowl. Just to get down into those grains, because that's got a lot of open grain in here. And let the friction polish may have a chance to work on that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now we'll go to the other. See what this does. Okay. Yeah, I think the finish is pretty much dialed in at this point. You're right. It's pretty close anyway. I think I've. There may be some minor little adjustments I make to it. I'm not sure if I might want a little bit more of that orange smell to it than we get from the Howards. You know, it's got orange oil in it, or citrus oil, but I might like just a little bit more. It does make it some pleasant aroma when people are. Oh, one thing. I'm sorry, I wanted to put another on the outside here too. So let me. This will be the second coat for the outside, even though it's only the first coat for the inside. And as I said before, I think 3 or 4 coats usually will do it, depending on the wood. This one, I think 3 or 4 coats would probably be about right. Faster. I know Mike from the Wactor Check, he said he was going to try some of this, and I've had comments from a few others. I haven't gotten too much feedback yet, but some people said that they're going to try it, and I would be interested in hearing what their observations are after using it a few times. As you can see, I continue to use it in my lives and stuff because I want to be able to see, you know, how it's performing and also if there's any drawbacks to it. And again, I can touch this right now. If you were putting on tung oil or something, you couldn't touch that for an hour. So, or shellac. Actually, you couldn't touch it for about 20 minutes. Shellac, you probably couldn't touch for an hour or two. I can touch this right now. Now, I'm not going to say I want to put my fingerprints all over it, but still, the idea. There you go. It's not a high gloss lacquer finish, although I think if you continue to build up the layers, I think that's what we'll get to. But it is a gloss finish, or a semi-gloss finish at least. It's not the dried wood finish that you seem to get from others. If I don't know if you can tell here, there's the old. It got on there some, but it's just kind of, that's just one polish. This is the second polish around here, so you can see already there's a difference. So, okay. Well, anyway, there you are. I really like the wood color, the wood grain. I like this grain in here. I think that looks really cool. Okay, so that was number 2. And obviously not the same species of wood. This is obviously different. And really like both of them though. Really like both of those. I'm glad I saved this piece of wood. Fits right in it too. All right. I'm willing to give this a shot if you guys are willing to watch me do it. This one was I tried turning once before, and the problem is that the bottom, the wood was tearing. You could not make a tenon out of this. You could not make a good tenon. So if I can't make a good tenon, there's no sense trying to turn it. So I thought, I've done a couple of repairs to it, and I've done a couple other things, and I think that maybe I can turn it. So I'm going to give this a little try. If not, we'll move on to something else, but I thought I would at least give this a try before it ends up in the fireplace. We don't have a fireplace because it's California, you're not allowed to burn anything, right? But unless, of course, it's somebody else's property. Burn that, I guess. Anyway. So let me give this a shot. There's a block. Easily down. Okay. So I want to wing this out just a little bit, so let's see if I can work that out. Okay, that's getting there, okay. Use this skew. Okay. Now look at that crack. This is what I'm dealing with. These cracks are humongous. So I'm not sure. I'll curve that out as good as I can. Now let's see what I can do with the bottom here. That's going to be the critical part. Can I make a tendon out of this bottom? If I can, then we're all on board. If I can't, well, then we'll be scrapping this. But we'll see what we can do. So we have a high spot and a low spot. This is the low spot, so we have to go in from there. That kind of just gives me the visual. And it's still a little rough here. It really swings up there. And I can't make a good tendon if I don't get that out of it. So. You see how it's coming off in pieces there. That's the concern part. Something like this. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have to create an exterior tendon. There's all there is to it. I can't. Much like the last one. Any kind of an interior tendon will try and slip away. It'll just tear apart. I'm not sure that this is going to be strong enough, or it may tear also. nice little flakes. That looks nice, doesn't it? Okay. I think I'm going to be close to getting a 10 in there. I just want to make sure I got my measurements right. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So I have to make that a little bit smaller, which is good. That helps me do everything a little bit more. I can make that a little smaller. I'm used to making an interior tendon, so when I have to do an exterior tendon, my eye is not quite as good at picking the spot. Just a little small. Okay. Well, sorry guys, I'm taking a little extra time here, but I want to make sure I get it right, because I don't think I get too many more shots with this piece of wood. Should be. That should be. Okay. I want to have enough wood there to hold onto it also. And I'm going to reinforce this with a little CA glue too. Just to make sure I've got a little extra control. CA glue in the right spot sometimes. Also got to make sure it goes in this crack, because this crack is tremendous. Like I don't have my nozzles with me right now, I'd be using the nozzles, yes. So for any of you that are asking, yes, I would normally use little micro nozzles, but I don't have them and they're handy. So we'll get by with this. No. And let me go here. Whew. Whoa. That smell. Whew. I'm reacting to something, probably waxes or something, or schlack or something on that towel. No. Boy, it was smelling. Okay. I'm just winging this anyway. I don't know, I have no special need for this. I have no special love for this particular piece of wood. I don't like to give up on a piece of wood without giving it a second try. You guys are probably the same way in your shop, right? Try to give it a second try. How am I going to deal with the knot on the other side? Well, there isn't a knot. It's going to be a live edge bowl if I ever get it done. So this is going to be the tenon. We're going to flip this around. We're going to dig a hole through in the bottom. So I hope that answers your question. I'm not sure, Virginia, but thank you, Bear. Just letting this dry off a little bit. A little bit of CA glue will tighten those wood strands a little, make them a little stronger. Okay, so now I'm going to sand this down just a little bit while I got the time. And then we will turn it around and see what we do on the inside. I don't know. I have no clue. Whoa, it's the spinning glue at me. That I didn't like. So now I'm C8 all over. I guess I should have let that dry a little bit longer. Well, live and learn, right? Discoloration out of there too. And this I can see it. Already. Okay. It's much better. Do this in reverse. That wing. Now normally I would use another method to get those cracks filled in. I'll ask you guys, do you want me to do that? Do you want me to do the glue and the glue and wood chip method to fill these before I go on? Do you think that'd be useful or not? If you want, I can do that. Just write down here in the comment section. Hi Squatch. How you doing? Please hit that like button. And if you haven't, please subscribe. I tell you what, I'm going to do a little bit of this in here. And on the other side. Just for the fun of it. We haven't done it in a while. And I know some of you like to see it done. So I'm going to get the really soft stuff, not the big curls. Really soft stuff. Come on here. Tap them in. Tap them in as much as you can. Okay. And then go across the grain. Don't go into the grain. Go across the grain. Or across the crack, I should say, not the grain necessarily. Okay. Okay. There we go. There. Got that. Put it in a plastic container, tape it down with colored resin. Yeah, no, that's not the way I'm going to do it, Natalie. I first of all, I don't like resin. Look, resin is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Resin's beautiful, and I've turned resin. I hate the smell of resin in my shop. I hate that smell of burnt plastic or melting plastic or shaving plastic. It's acrid. It's not good on your lungs, and you can't. If you have a mixture of wood and that acrylic shavings, you can't throw them out in your garden, and you can't throw them out in the recycle bin. You have to throw them into the regular trash because it's plastic. And you can't, it's not going to do any good in your garden. So for all those reasons, I prefer to just stick with the natural woods and let the wood be what the wood is. Okay, so, I mean, I'm not saying anything's wrong with the other, and there's certainly a place for doing resins, but whenever possible, I like to find other ways of treating this. And if you'll notice, this is kind of going away. It's not going to go away completely. It's not going to go away 100%. But it does lessen the look of that crack. I'm just trying to get it smooth. Once it's smooth, it no longer has that gaping look to it. It will not be perfect. Wood is not perfect. Wood is a living thing. We're just trying to breathe new life into a piece of wood that was already basically dead in the sense that it had been cut down or fell down or broke down or whatever. It had ceased to exist in its present state. So we are bringing life back to something that has already, in essence, died. We're doing a little bit of Mr. Frankenstein in a sense, and bringing it back to life. And if we do a good job, and it's a really beautiful piece of wood, it can last another 100 or 200 years, bringing happiness to other people after it's already gone. It might be something that's passed down. You never know. Probably not this piece, but there are pieces I've turned that I think that might happen to. Okay, so I think we got it sanded down enough. So I'm going to put the friction polish to this. And we're we're going to pray for the best, right? We're going to pray that when I turn this around, it's going to work. If it doesn't work, yeah, we have prayers for that too. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. There should be a wood turner's prayer. I think somebody, one of our brethren here who is actually, we've got a couple people in here that are actually ministers, I believe, or they, maybe they should come up with a wood turner's prayer like, Lord, please don't let the piece of wood hit me in the head today. I don't know, something like that. If you got a good one, let me know. I'm just trying to bring life back to a piece of your wood you created. Please don't let it create a piece of hole in me in the process. You know, something along those lines. It's a good old general. I was banging my finger there. You have to be kind of careful when you're bringing it around the wing side because there's nothing there. So you kick up the speed. It becomes kind of more solid in a sense because the gap is being closed so quickly between the pieces that it's actually almost like going through a solid piece. This is science if you want to show your kids. This is a good piece of science for them to learn. Okay. So there's the, that's the friction finish. What do you think? Now we'll do the other finish and we'll be ready to turn this thing around. I'm going to put a little bit of that on the bark also when we get done. Now you can't really wax the bark because if you try to wax the bark you're going to end up with picking a lot of wax out of that bark and it's going to take you a couple hours and you're going to be really pee-offed. So I recommend you don't put the wax in live bark. It just will not work. But you can brush in some, or brush in a finish. So what I normally do, I have a little of this mixture of tung oil and citrus oil, and I put that in there and I brush that in, and you'll see in a minute how that works on the bark. Of course, most of this bark is going to get taken away. Not all of it. Some of this bark is going to stay. But it does kind of perk things up just a little bit when you put this on. So we'll be doing some more of that. Okay, I got that on there. Let me get a clean towel, I think, because these are. Looks like it's starting to sprinkle outside again. Lovely. And of course I got sprayed again a little bit. I'm just not learning today. Okay, I think that's a good first coat. There'll be more coats. You notice the cracks do not look as pronounced now as they did. And you also don't really see too much of the CA glue and all the other things that I did to it to get it into that state. So I think we accomplished most of what we were trying to accomplish there. Okay. Now, I've CA glued myself and everything else. Take protection of this thing. I'm going to take this off. Okay. And we're going to take this and remove this. And we'll work on the inside. And hello, all of you that aren't usually in this channel. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you can. That would be much appreciated. And check out the sites, some of the other guys here. I don't know, Wilson, if you got a chance or if somebody else got a chance to put up some of the channel sites here, but if you want to put up your own channel site, that's fine also. I will not object. So, please feel free. And we've been lucky enough to get over 5,000 subscribers, and obviously we want to get a lot more, but it's a good start. All right. Now, check on. There's a little time out here. Running pretty darn true. Good. That's good. That's a good start. I always like to let it run through. Yep. Okay. All right, hopefully we got a good grip on there, and we can go inside here and do some damage. So, turn that to the bones. Let's go inside and see. I want to see where we're hitting. We're hitting right about here. So I can probably come out to here. I don't want to come out all the way to here because we'll have too much of a drop off and we'll lose a lot of the bark. I'm going to put them right about here. Let's see where we're at now. Now we're out here. Okay. I think I can go a little bit there. I think that's looking pretty good. All right, give me some interesting things to turn here. I'm going to pick up speed a little. Kind of weird because I see on the screen it looks like a wobble, like a wom 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 wom. And on here it looks like it's going, well, about 900 RPM. I'm going to pick it up just a little bit more, about 1200 RPM. Look at those ribbons, huh? Those are nice. Those are nice ribbons. Now, I do have to be aware of the crack that we saw earlier, in case they show up inside here. Let's see how we're doing so far. So we're past the part where you have a gap. Let's make sure we go in here. We can come out here just a little bit. And the wings. Just to accentuate the wings a little bit. See, that lets these wings feel like they're coming out more, gives it an angle coming into the wood here. And then I may employ the carbide just a little bit. I don't normally use the carbide, but I may need to use the carbide. There we go. Getting some pretty good cuts in there. We are about halfway in here. We got about another 3/4 of an inch or so to go. This is going to be a nice little bowl, I think, if I can keep it together. I also think I'm starting to get a little dull here. And we need to sharpen up. And what they say, if you think you need to sharpen up, you probably should have done it 10 minutes ago. So I'm going to go over here and I know you can't see it really well, but I'll kind of put it up here, okay? Everyone has their own system of sharpening. The system I use. I always use this because this keeps me in an exact 2-inch measurement every time. I already have this set up for this particular one, so I don't have to reset it. Every one of these will get just a fraction of just a fraction off. When they do, you'll see it. If you get just a fraction off, you'll see a different bevel. I want to make this a little bit more. This has a long wing on it. A wing grinder. It actually has two grinds. It has this is higher end than this is, and it's got a double grind on it. So it's a little bit of a complex grind. I think I need to get in here too. Oh, sorry, didn't change the angle back. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me get your angle back here. It's hard when you're the cameraman and the worker at the same time, you know? Okay, here we go. There you go. Now you can see better. You know, it's getting pretty late back there for some people like our friends in Scotland. It's getting to be midnight, or after midnight there, so I appreciate you guys coming in. If you've already gone to bed, that's great. If we're getting some people from New Zealand, well, it should be about lunchtime for you, I guess, so hopefully you're watching us while you're having your lunch or something like that. I don't know if we have any Australians or Kiwi in the group here. My family comes from the Black Forest area of Germany, the Stuttgart area, so to speak. That's the east of Stuttgart. And so if I got any of my German family here, say hey. Say hello. Okay, let's see where we're at. We're down to about here. Okay. Let me get in there with the scraper. Kind of clean this out a little bit. It's kind of hard to see. I think I'm bottoming out good, but I need to work on these sides just a little bit more. The good news is I didn't come across any of these cracks, and I don't want to start now. So that's kind of why I was keeping it a little bit thicker on the outside here than I normally would. Because I don't want those cracks that we saw here working their way inside. So I kept this on a little bit on the thick side. And this also would be great for holding a pot or something like that, you know. switch. This one has a longer sweep. This is sharp along the edge here. Taking your angled scraper and bringing the edge out to here really allows you to bring it up the side. A nice angle on it as you do it. It's cloudy and 70 degrees on Pismo. Great. I feel for you, Alex. It's cloudy, slightly rainy, and 95 here, I think. So bring some of that cool air back with you from Pismo, would you please, Alex? I'd appreciate that a lot. We need some. The thing is, we're not getting any breeze with this. It's just hanging air, which is, everybody knows that's the horrible stuff, right? When the air just sits there. Because I'm not going to complain when I see all the flooding that's going on in certain parts of the Midwest and East. I guess New York got really pummeled yesterday with flooding. And I hope everybody is okay. Oops. So sorry for that, guys. I flicked you right off my shirt. There we go. Now we're all back. Okay, so let's see if we can finish this off. Okay, where are we at here? We got 147 likes today. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can get 3 more and get it to 150, huh? Can we get three more likes in there? If you haven't double tapped the screen or hit the like button, let's get 3 more likes so we can get to 150. That'd be terrific. Okay, I really appreciate that. This is going to be not fun this time. We're going to be doing all this. Just turning it slowly inside here. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that bark to make it kind of stand out a little bit too. So stick around for that. There are still some things to learn before we're done today. Always have those tricks to teach. Little things you learn along the way. You want to pass them on to others. Some of those stress cracks are starting to show up because as we relieve the pressure in turning, some of those cracks start to open up. That's okay, we're going to fill those in, the wax and so forth to finish. I don't think that's going to be an issue long term. I think the wood is pretty dry. And I didn't actually check. So it's a little bit wet still, so it could have a little movement. Could be a little movement in this. I'll probably take and microwave this to get some of the water out of it so we don't have any more movement. But there is a little bit of movement still available in this wood. shut down about a year ago. So, just going to put a finish on this and see what happens. Again, please hit that like button. Let's get it to 150. I see we have 147 last I looked. So, if you haven't hit the like button, please do that. And consider subscribing. Okay? And all you guys that have stuck around here, like Eric and some of the others, Dan and Dario and so forth, please, thank you for being here. But let's finish this off here. See if we can't make something out of it, okay? Oh, I forgot one thing. I'm sorry. Getting ahead of myself. One more little thing we do is we need to clean off the bark. Okay? This is how we clean off the bark. This is a grit brush. There's several different grits you can get. They have a nylon type thing to them. I get these from Amazon, but I'm sure you can get them from other places too. And what it will do is it will smooth out the little sharp edges without damaging too much the bark. Makes it easier on your hands. It feels better on your hands when the people are handling the wood. It's a lot easier to do than if you were using a sandpaper. Yeah, that already, everything kind of has a little bit of a softer feel to it. There we go. Now let's clean that up a little bit. Like I said before, I'm going to brush just a little bit on here. Just so I'm going to brush the tongue oil on because I don't want to wax the tongue oil on. And it's really hard to get into all of those little crevices and grooves. And that's going to just make that really sparkle a little bit there. Okay? That's going to make that stand out just a little bit. Okay? And like I said, we'll go back and we'll do the other parts, but just want to get that in there. I'm going to stand way over here. So I'm finally getting smarter. I'm going to hold this up like this. And let that fly away for just a minute. Okay, so anything that's going to come off is probably already there. So now I don't have to worry about it hitting me in the face again. Okay? So we're going to put some friction polish in here. Okay, got it in there. Cover it up. Drag. Start off somewhat slow. And you're going to keep it speed up. Very carefully with my hand. And if you wanted to, you could put a stick, use a stick, and put a towel on the end of it, kind of making a mop stick, and do that way. It's a little safer. So there's a suggestion for you too. Good. Okay. Got that. Now we'll do the finish. And I can just kind of dab this on here. I don't want it to have any of the actual wax build up on it, but I can wax just a little bit. I'm going to put some on the outside. So we got the second coat on the outside. Okay. And get our trusty paper towel. Yeah. Get the speed going. Kind of mock Jesus speed. It's like, hey Ryan, good to see you. Ooh. Gotta watch the old fingernails there. You can very carefully do this. Okay. Let's see how that's looking. Oh yeah. That looks pretty. It's not a high shine because it's got so much ink green on it. I don't think it ever will be a really high shine, but I think it will build and we will get a little more shine out of it still. But for the first coatings, we did manage to save this bowl that was tearing apart. So there you go. See the finish on the bottom here? How nice and smooth that is. And See, the side grain is remarkably beautifully smooth like glass. Unfortunately, the side grain gives a little bit less of a gloss to it. But I like the bark on the live edge on this one. And we winged it out just a little bit. Sanded it out and winged it out. So I'll bring it up a little bit closer for the camera. You can look inside. Okay, so that's that one. And we did the other two here earlier today. Still love this one. Still love this one a lot. I just think that's really, really pretty wood. Almost kind of looks like a zebra wood almost, doesn't it? Yeah, but it's not. And in this piece we just did, and of course this other piece, which I believe is oak, not the walnut that I originally thought it was. So I got these. I got another one of those too that I'm going to be able to turn. I'll turn this in a couple days. But this is what this looked like before we turned it. That's what it was like. It was just a piece of lump of wood. And this is what it turns into. So you can kind of see the before and after effect. Okay. But yeah, there you go. 3 beautiful pieces. And I really thank everybody for being in here today. It's been a great time. We do this every Friday. We do a couple others during the week, usually. If you're a subscriber, you'll know when we're coming on. So, you know, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to be notified whenever I'm on here, okay? And thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thanks, Ryan, and Alex, thank you very much. Even though you're over in Pismo, I won't hate on you. Wouldn't we all like to be over in Pismo Beach right now? So I really appreciate the guys, but we went on for about 2.5 hours, and I think that's time for me to get out of here and let you guys have some rest of your Friday evening or Saturday morning, as it might be. So thanks very much. We'll talk to you all real soon.